In this tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to get ready to make the lead hypophosphite. So this tutorial is the lab. This is the preview to get ready to make the lead hypophosphite. This is arrangement of your beakers and such. Next, I'm going to assume that you've already gone to aardvarkreloading.com and went to the EPH 20 equipment tab, and you went on a scavenger hunt and you've collected every one of these items that appear on this list. It's a pretty comprehensive list, and if Marshall used a paper towel, I put it on this list. And not only gather this equipment, make sure it's in close proximity to where you're going to be performing the lab. Another good idea may be to kind of dry run it without turning on any of the hot plates or anything. Just make sure everything's within easy reach. I had one user that I was teaching, and for whatever reason he set up his hot plate and beakers on the wrong side of the table and was having to reach across the table to stir anything, and he had the wrong height chair, so by the time he got done with the lab his back was killing him. All of these steps can be performed before you start the lab. If you've received your hot plate stirrer, play with it. Take some regular tap water and your magnetic stir bars and see if you can arrange your beakers similar to what I've got. It gets crowded, but it's doable. The big beaker in the middle, which contains the sodium hypophosphite, when you're doing it live, it'll be in the middle and get most of the attention. The small beaker here in front is for your lead nitrate. It'll need a stir bar too. The mini beaker, I just use that for a water reserve in case I need it. One of the members accidentally knocked his lab right off the hot plate, so he built a mesh fence made out of metal and alleviated that problem. It was a good idea. It'd be a good idea to have the recipe, which is currently on page 19, printed out. Remember to pay attention to your units. This recipe is in grams, not grains, and a cc is a milliliter. Take extra care to weigh your dry chemicals accurately. If you decide to make a half batch, don't forget to cut your water in half too. Set up your filtration system. Place your coffee filter in the funnel, make sure it fits well and stays open. And the funnel isn't going to fall over when you pour your lab into the funnel, is it? Go ahead and line your drying pan with a paper towel while you're at it. Pre-weigh your lead nitrate. It tends to be clumpy and crusty. Pre-crush it so it's smaller particles because they will dissolve easier. Pre-weigh your sodium hypophosphite. It's destined for the large beaker. Place 50 milliliters of distilled water into the mini beaker. That's all mine will hold anyway. Add the appropriate amount of water to each beaker and a stir bar for each. Let me demonstrate something in my kitchen. These chemical reactions are not instantaneous, of course. They take some time. In the beginning, when everything's fresh, the chemicals will have no problem finding a suitable mate. But after a while, if I don't stir, I'm going to run out of fresh material. But at some point, and this is another checkpoint, the surface of your big beaker is going to quit moving because the material is so thick. When this happens, the material on the top will begin to concentrate, and we don't want that. So the solution is so dirt simple. Just take your glass stir rod and give the big beaker a good stir before adding any more drops. You see, all the good stuff, all the unreacted material is below the surface, and we need to bring it toward the top where all the action is. In real life, it looks like this.
Of the sodium hypophosphite so that there's no chance you get any of the lead nitrito hypophosphite formed. you have a little bit of unreacted sodium hypophosphite in the solution at the end. The size of the filter, or the crystals, is how fast it cools. The slower you allow it to cool, the larger and coarser the crystals are.
I didn't say squirt, I said be cool and relaxed like Marshall. This is Mark on aardvarkreloading.com. If you have the financial means, donations on Patreon would be appreciated, but not required. Details below. And if you have technical questions, please join me at the MeWe group called Primer Reloading. Hope to see you there.